I'm Anil Kumar. Welcome to my series on equivalent rational expressions. Let us consider the expressions x squared minus 1 divided by x plus 1 and x minus 1. What do you think? Are they equivalent expressions? If not, how can you make them equivalent? That is what we are going to discuss in this video, right? So let's begin with the expression given to us, which is x squared minus 1 over x plus 1. First, let's figure out how is it related with x minus 1. Well, if I factor the numerator, what do I get? Difference of squares. I could write this as x plus 1 times x minus 1, right? The denominator is x plus 1. And now, I could always simplify this. We have common factors in numerator and denominator. So that gives us x minus 1, right? And that is how we find that they are somehow related. Following these steps, what do you say? Is x minus 1 equivalent to x squared minus 1 divided by x plus 1? The answer is no. You know why? If I'm talking about the first rational expression here, then what are the restrictions? Let me write down. Restrictions are that denominator cannot be 0, so x is not equal to minus 1. How about this expression? If I write minus 1 here, then I get minus 2. So at minus 1, x squared minus 1 divided by x plus 1 is not defined. However, x minus 1 is defined. And therefore, they are not equivalent. So we get the result not equivalent. So that's the answer for the first question. Are they equivalent expressions, right? Now, let's look into the second part of it. That is, if not, how can you make them equivalent expressions? So the technique to make them equivalent expression is to take care of this point, x is not equal to minus 1. So what we can do here is, we can introduce the restriction here that x cannot be equal to minus 1. That makes it equivalent. So now, if we write x squared minus 1 over x plus 1 as equal to x minus 1, where x is not equal to minus 1, we say they are equivalent. Do you see that? So we have made them equivalent. Now, if I introduce x as minus 1, this value is not defined since minus 1 is not in the domain of x. You get the idea. And if you sketch these functions, what do you get? If you sketch these functions, you actually get a straight line with y-intercept of minus 1. And since minus 1 is not in the domain of the function, so we get a hole at x equals to minus 1. So if you sketch, the result is kind of like this. So that matches with both the functions. Do you see that? A hole at minus 1 minus 2. Because the restriction introduced that x is not equal to 1 makes both of them equivalent. So remember, whenever you're simplifying rational expressions, take care of the restrictions and place them on the side if you really want to make them equivalent, else your answer could be wrong at times. I hope that helps. Feel free to write comments, share my videos, and like if you like. Thank you and all the best.